What if Lionel Messi never left Barcelona? If on that suffocating Thursday afternoon of August 5th, 2021, the greatest footballer ever to lace a boot simply stayed. No tear-stained farewell press conference. No waiver fax to La Liga headquarters. No private jet lifting off from El Prat, carrying a heartbroken Rosario native toward an alien Parisian sunset. Instead, imagine Jorge Messi's iPhone buzzing one last time. Inside the Hilton Diagonal Mar lobby, Joan Laporta's voice cracking through the speaker. We found the lever, Leo. We can register him in that single moment. The axis of world football tilts back towards the Mediterranean, and every butterfly wing we are about to beat will redraw stadiums, balance sheets, geopolitical soft power maps. Even the bedtime stories fathers tell sons in Buenos Aires. Riyadh, Lagos, Tokyo, and Miami first. The paperwork Goldman Sachs agrees to underwrite a €595 million, 25-year bond at 2% convertible to club equity, if Barca reach 3 Champions League semifinals in 5 seasons. The Spanish government, terrified of losing the country's most valuable export, the same week it is begging post-COVID tourists to return, quietly approves a cultural patrimony tax exemption, normally reserved for gaudy restorations. Injecting another $270 million of liquidity, CVC's predatory $2.7 billion lifeline is rejected. The club's leverage ratio never balloons past 0.9 to 1. And on August 7th, 2021, at 23:58, Leo's new 5-year contract is logged on LA Liga's server, with a 50% wage deferral and a unilateral option triggered automatically. If Barcelona qualify for the quarterfinals of Europe's premier competition, the photograph of him kissing the crest at the center circle crashes Instagram for 43 minutes. The ripple is instantaneous. Kylian Mbappe, who had spent the summer waiting for the GOAT to vacate Iberia, so he could finally inherit the Bernabeu spotlight, resigns with Paris Saint-Germain through 2025. Erling Haaland still joins Manchester City, but without Barcelona as a viable 2023 destination, he accepts a €150 million release clause. That will escalate to $200 million in 2024, Ansu Fati told. He will never be forced to shoulder the psychic weight of the number 10. Shirt keeps his original 22, allowing the academy to loan out Alex Coyote and Oriol Busquets. Instead of dumping them for accounting pennies on the pitch, Messi drops into the false 9 only 30% of the time. The remaining 70 he roams a hybrid right-half space, feeding an ascending Pedri, protected by a rejuvenated Sergio Busquets, 1 season younger thanks to a bespoke ketogenic chef program. Funded by Spotify's naming rights advance, Barcelona opened the 2020 1-22 league campaign with a 5-1 rout of Real Sociedad, in which Leo registers a 22-minute hat-trick of assists, the third of 40-yard outside foot arch, that lands on the toe of Fernando Torres, like a snowflake on a mitten. By December, they top the table by 7 points. Daniesius Jr. is so traumatized by a 4-0 Clásico, in which Messi nutmegs him twice before halftime that the Brazilian deletes TikTok for a month. In the Champions League, they overturn a 2-0 deficit against Chelsea. In the Bernabeu quarterfinal, Messi scores a 91-minute panenka after dribbling past Thibaut Courtois. Twice in the same run, the commentators shriek. Becomes the most streamed football audio clip in TikTok history. The semi-final against Bayern becomes a 7-5 aggregate epic, in which Jamal Musiala, alone among mortals, manages to nutmeg Leo once. Messi responds with 2 outside box curlers, so identical that NASA tweets a side-by-side trajectory graphic. Captioned, "Physics is broken." They lift the trophy in Paris on May 28, 2022. The open-top bus parade is so gargantuan that the city disables the entire L3 metro line for 6 hours, something that has not happened since the 1992 Olympics. Off the field, the economic halo is biblical. Nike renegotiates its deal to €155 million per season, surpassing even Jordan Brand's NBA contract. Fan token bar surges 480%, wiping out the club's remaining COVID losses. Spotify's camp. No naming rights are already hailed as the bargain of the century. Joan Laporta greenlights S by Barca 2.0, without selling any future television rights, because the European Super League is miraculously revived. In October 2022, Barcelona, as reigning champions, are guaranteed a €350 million founding share, triple what they would have earned the previous year. Messi decides to play on indefinitely, his beard now speckled with grey. But GPS data still clocks his sprint speed at 31.7 kilometers per hour. At age 37, thanks to a daily 20-minute hyperbaric nap inside a chamber, custom built in the Ciutat Deportiva basement. In 2023, he captains Argentina to a World Cup anyway, Because FIFA, terrified of the optics of a Messi-less Qatar, secretly moves the tournament to November. December in Barcelona's favor, ensuring he arrives fresh. The Albiceleste beat France on penalties after a 3-3 thriller, in which Messi's 118-minute outside foot assist to Lautaro Martinez is measured at 58 kilometers per hour. Ground speed, the fastest pass ever recorded in a World Cup final. Back in Catalonia, LA, Messi experiences a renaissance. Pablo Gabi, convinced Leo will still be around when he peaks, signs a 9-year contract with a €1 billion buyout clause. 15-year-old Lamine Yamal is fast-tracked and handed the number 7 shirt, vacated by an exhausted Ousmane Dembele, who is shipped to Chelsea for €6,000. Siadam Play. Marcos Alonso's wages by 2024. Barcelona's wage bill is actually lower than 2019 levels. Because Messi's deferred salary is converted into club equity, he becomes a 4% shareholder, ensuring that when the team wins the 2025 Sextuplet Liga Copa, Supercopa Champions UEFA Super Cup Club World Cup, his dividends exceed $50 million, making him the first active player ever to appear on Forbes' billionaire list. The Camp Nou renovation finishes 18 months ahead of schedule. The new 105,000-seat arena includes a Messi galaxy, ring of LED constellations, that spell out every trophy he has ever won each night at 22:10, the exact minute he was born in 2026. Inter Miami's expansion bid collapses without the Messi magnet, so Major League Soccer redirects its energy toward purchasing a 49% stake in Girona instead, turning the Catalan derby into a global Thanksgiving weekend, primetime spectacle broadcast in 112 countries. Meanwhile, Cristiano Ronaldo, still chasing records in Saudi Arabia, posts a black and white Instagram photo of himself lifting the Arab Super Cup, with the caption 1,038 career goals, still counting, but the top comment, liked 11 million times, is a fan-made gif of Messi juggling a ball inside an empty Spotify camp. Noah Dawn overlaid with the text, count the memories, not the goals. By 2027, Barcelona's tiki-taka DNA has mutated into Messi, a style in which every player must complete at least 2 1-2s with Leo before advancing past the halfway line. Analytics show the team averages 72% possession, but also 3.4 expected goals per match, the highest in Europe. Pedri wins the Ballon d'Or in 2028 after Messi, now 41, publicly declares he will never win it again, then finishes third anyway. The club's YouTube channel surpasses 200 million subscribers, double any NFL franchise. Every video titled Messi 2029 Unbelievable racks 1 million views in under an hour. Even when it is only training ground nutmegs in 2030, FIFA president Gianni Infantino, facing a revolt over biennial World Cups, announces that the 2034 tournament will be co-hosted by Spain, Morocco, and Barcelona, with the Camp Nou hosting the final, is a permanent tribute to Messi, who by then has agreed to a ceremonial player-president role, suiting up for the last 10 minutes of every group stage match. Under a special legacy roster exemption, negotiated through an emergency IFAB vote, the storybook ending arrives on July 15, 2034, when Messi, aged 47, hair silver smile unchanged, substitutes himself into the World Cup final against Brazil. At the 84th minute, Mark scores directly from a corner, then walks off holding the trophy with both hands. As 4.2 billion people watch, the largest live audience in human history. The following morning, he officially retires, converts his 4% equity into a controlling 51% stake. Backed by Catalan banks, immediately appoints Xavi as head coach, Andrés Iniesta as sporting director, and Gerard Piqué as president of Metaverse operations. The camera now fast-forwards to 2040. The Camp now has become a 150,000-seat solar glass orb, hovering above the city like a UFO of memory. The first team plays in a holographic third kit that projects real-time fan tweets across the fabric, and a 53-year-old Lionel Messi, now styling a neat salt and pepper goatee, lifts the 25th La Liga title of his impossible career as blue and gold confetti drifts through the Mediterranean night. The commentary simply whispers, some fairy tales do not end. They just become architecture. Fade to black roll credits over a seamless loop of every single goal he ever scored in Blaugrana, 176 in total, each strike synchronized to a single heartbeat that never, ever left Barcelona. Lionel Messi's story was never supposed to lead here. Not to the United States, not to packed stadiums in pink jerseys, not to a league once dismissed as a retirement destination. And yet, in one of football's most unexpected chapters, Messi's current club, Inter Miami has become the center of the footballing world. When Messi arrived in Major League Soccer, many believed they already knew how this story would go. A legend winding down a global icon, cashing in a few moments of magic sprinkled over a slower league. What followed instead was something far more powerful, far more disruptive, and far more messy. Inter Miami before Messi was a struggling club, bottom of the table, lacking identity. Confidence shattered and relevance fading fast. Then in the summer of 2023, Lionel Messi arrived, and everything changed instantly. Not gradually, not over months, but from his very first kick of the ball, his debut free kick goal was not just a goal. It was a message, a reminder that, even thousands of miles away from Europe's biggest stages, Messi remained Messi vision intact. Touch untouched by time, genius undiminished. From that moment onward, Messi didn't just play for Inter Miami, he transformed it. Matches that once drew modest crowds suddenly sold out in minutes. Away games felt like home games, with stadiums flooded by fans wearing number 10. Television ratings exploded, and the league's global visibility reached heights it had never seen before. But beyond the spectacle, beyond the marketing impact, Messi delivered what truly matters in football. Performance on the pitch, Messi's influence has been overwhelming. He didn't adapt to MLS by lowering his standards, he raised the league to his level. His numbers tell part of the story. Goals, assists, match-winning contributions. But statistics alone cannot capture his true impact. Messi dictates games, he slows them down when chaos reigns, speeds them up when opportunity appears, and makes average players look exceptional, simply by understanding where they will be before they do. One of the most remarkable aspects of Messi's performance at Inter Miami is how little he has lost. At an age when most players rely solely on experience, Messi still combines intelligence with execution. His dribbling may no longer be relentless over 90 minutes, but in decisive moments he remains unplayable. One touch to escape pressure, a disguised pass splitting defenses, a finish placed so calmly it feels inevitable. Messi doesn't dominate physically, he dominates mentally.